best way to make your YouTube videos get more recognition is if you are optimizing for watch times.
This is the Career series powered by MTN, and my name is Talula Doherty Aditono. I'm here today with Fisayo Fosudo. He is a tech content creator and one of Nigeria's biggest YouTubers with over 200,000 subscribers. Fisayo, it's nice to have you here with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. So let's start off by talking about how you started off with content creation and with YouTube.
Okay, there are so many beginnings, but if I was going to trace the roots, it was more of me loving design. I started out as a graphic designer in my university days. So in my second year, I was exploring graphic design, and I started to fall in love with the tech of design. So this made me freelance a little, it made me design a couple of things, and then I got hired straight out of university.
Okay.
I did graphic designer. So I was hired at a startup called max.ng.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was a designer there. I was also doing social media strategy, and I also learned video production on the job. So all of those skills and the combination of everything led me to, making videos. So I just, there was a time where I just said, I want to take this risk and explore this world of video production.
Yeah.
And make videos about technology, smartphones, accessories, and things like that. So I just dove into it, and it's been about 5 years now.
So Fisayo, how were you able to narrow down on your niche, which is tech, like you said, smartphones, and also how were you able to grow? Because a lot of people, they're excited to start on YouTube, but it's the growth that's actually the more difficult part. So
when it comes to niching down, you hear it all the time that people say you should follow your passion. It sounds like a cliche, but it is true, because you are going to get bored of something that you don't like. So you have to figure out something that you really enjoy, that you can talk about for long and not get bored of talking about it. For me, that was tech, because I had this background of making designs and videos. I was so engrossed in the visual aspect of things, and just telling stories that way. And that was how I was able to position myself into a niche like that. And it is also, I think it's also based on luck too. There's some luck factor involved, because I got hired into somewhere that made me explore my design skills, made me explore social media strategy, made me explore video production, and today that's basically what I do. And I'm grateful for the employer I had, because they had so many resources. I was able to learn what visual storytelling means. So I kind of usually like to describe myself as a visual storyteller.
Okay.
Because it encompasses all of these aspects of telling stories visually, whether it's through videos, text, written text, or imagery or things like that. So that's sort of the buckets.
I want to talk about, in terms of helping budding content creators. How do you research your topics? How do you outline your videos? How do you search for keywords? I mean, there's so much that goes into YouTube and being a creator. Can you talk us through a bit of your process?
It's not really defined. There's no one single process. I react to, because it's technology, I react to new releases. Technology changes is very fast. It's very fast paced. Things can just launch today or tomorrow or next tomorrow. So I try to work with brands to also review some stuff or just comment on something. Usually it's not only video production. Sometimes it can just be a series of images I share or tweets that I share about something, how I feel about something. So, but for the videos now, I try to, if something is new, is novel, which is stuff that people like, I analyze it, I read a lot about it, and I just compile it. And the goal is to make it as simple as possible to understand, not spewing the same thing that people don't already understand. I want them to come to the work I'm creating knowing that they come here and they're better off when they leave.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely achieved that. I watched a video that you did on your YouTube channel about this artist called Shutterbug, who creates NFTs and has sold his NFTs for a considerable amount. And I thought that was really interesting, because we always hear about NFTs and it seems like one far-fetched thing, but you were able to, well, for me anyway, through that interview, really break it down, and it was really sort of understandable. I felt like, oh, I can create an NFT tomorrow if I say which, maybe not, but that was what I came away from the video with.
So I think for that video, the goal was to understand it. I haven't made any explainer on this topic, but I needed to understand it from someone who I thought was an expert. So again, like part of education or part of teaching stuff is to come into something with the knowing that you don't know everything. Yeah. You know, come like a blank slate and just try to listen as much as possible, understand the topic as much as possible, and then figure out the best possible way to explain this thing. So I was able to get that from him. You know, he's my friend, he's a designer, he taught me design too. So it just made sense that I was able to explain it that way.
So Fisayo, what would you say are the 5 vital steps to starting out as a content creator and also creating a niche?
Okay, 5 vital steps. I'll just run through them as they come to me. But the first thing I would say is picking a topic. You know, just like we spoke about initially, finding a niche is very important. Not only is it that you are going to make something that you're passionate about now, you are going to look at a way of dominating this niche and making your own perspective shine through. Because everybody sees things, like people see stuff all the time. They don't want to see the same thing that they're seeing over and over again. So you want to find a way to be novel about this niche. How can you be unique? How can you bring your own perspective? Because there's only one you, and people don't want to watch what they've seen before. Figure out their niche, figure out the topic that they want to talk about. And it's not necessarily about figuring out this topic because of your passion. You want to figure out this topic because you want to dominate the space. You want to be sort of a thought leader and confer your own personality and your own unique way, because there's only one you are the only unique person that is yourself. So you want to find a way to bring yourself into this topic and sort of dominate the space and be the thought leader. The second thing I would say is figure out the value that you're trying to deliver. It's different from figuring out the topic now. The value you want to deliver, it can either be educational value, entertainment value, or inspirational value. And there's a mixture of it. You can have edutainment, whereby you're educating and entertaining someone. So you want to figure out how best you can bring this value through. And this would inform your channel and your overall content strategy, whereby when you're speaking or when you're making your videos, people figure out stuff. If you're educating people, yes, they get value like that. If you're entertaining people, yes, they get entertained. The next thing is figure out what you need to use to start. So these are the tools. You want to think about lighting, you want to think about cameras, you want to think about audio. So what is it that you want to do? Are you making commentary videos? Are you making videos that you don't necessarily have to appear in them? Are you making interviews? Are you making skits or whatever it is? So you want to figure out what this tool will be and how best to use them. Usually, one thing that is very, very true is that people focus more on audio than video. Not everybody has the patience to watch videos, multiple videos. There's so many videos, billions of hours of videos uploaded on YouTube every single day. So you want to figure out how best your audio can shine through. People can watch a bad video, but nobody can stand a bad audio. So you want to figure out how best to make that correct. Another thing is figuring out what platforms you want to use. There are platforms that are basically audio platforms, there are platforms that are written, there are platforms that are just visual, pictures or text-based, whatever it is. So you want to, if it is YouTube videos, it is visual audio, so audio visual. If it is social media, Instagram, Twitter and the likes, Twitter thrives on text, so you want to figure out how best to make that work out. Yes, figuring out the platform, understanding the platforms and the strength. So YouTube videos, for instance, the best way to make your YouTube videos get more recognition is if you are optimizing for watch time. So it doesn't matter the views, it doesn't matter your subscribers, all that doesn't matter. how long do people watch the video. It dictates how interesting this video is. So if people are, YouTube knows that people are watching this video for very long, they recommend it to more people. If people are not watching it for long, they don't recommend it at all. So you want to do that, and you also want to figure out how to stay consistent. So this is the last thing. How can you do this consistently without burning out? So now you have to space out what you're making. You want to figure out a plan. You want to figure out how best you can, put schedule content maybe every week, twice every week, once every week, and continue with that, sticking with that. Sometimes you might get tired or like burnt out. You want to now ask yourself why. When you feel like you're burning out, you want to ask yourself why. So why did I start this thing in the first place? And circle back on that. That would help you stay on course and restart or kickstart the journey again.
Fisayo, when I see your videos, they look perfect. Perfect, like that meme goes. And I can't imagine that you ever have any stresses or strains or challenges. But of course, in the real world, there's got to be a hurdle here and there. So have you faced any challenges or any stresses, in your journey and just in the whole content creation process?
Yes. Never.
Never, the Nigerian factor.
Yeah, light. I know it's a joke, but I think my videos have not always been perfect. I don't think they are perfect yet, but I think the quality is very good now. I used to use the camera I used to use wasn't so great before, but I think because I was consistent, I was able to acquire gear and get better quality. But in terms of challenges, I think one of my major challenges is staying consistent. Even as I'm preaching consistency, sometimes I just can't. Like, I just cannot do that thing. And no matter how much I read, no matter how much I watch, videos or like study wide, I might just not be able to make that thing at that period of time. So one thing that helps me get back on course is asking myself why. Like, why did I start this thing? What is the goal with this, either this piece of content or just my whole life in general? Why am I doing this thing? And once I think about that, everybody has different reasons why they started something. Some people want to make money. Some people want to be recognized. Some people want to just feel validated based on what they are doing or their thoughts that they're spreading, their thoughts and their ideas that they're spreading out. So they want to just get something. And for you to get back on course, you want to just ask yourself, why did I do this thing? And once you can outline those reasons, I think it can help you get back, even maybe not immediately. And then you follow all your strategies and all the things that have worked for you in the past. Another thing I always like to advise is figure out, always ask yourself, why did I succeed at this thing? Or why did I fail at this thing? Nobody really likes to question their success, but it's good to question. It's like, okay, this thing worked out. Why did it work out? Is this just a seasonal thing? Is this going to be forever? No good thing lasts forever. So you want to figure out the same way you would fail at something and figure out why you feel that this thing is the same way when you succeed at something. You should figure out why. And always, if you can, not everybody can, but if you can, try to document what you are doing. Like, write it down and say, okay, today I did this thing, this is what happened. And again, whenever you are idle or whenever you are like there's a downtime, figure out this, I keep saying figure out, but try to know whether this thing you're doing is adding to your eventual goals. You can be sitting somewhere, just think, this thing I'm doing right now, does it contribute to my overall goals? And if it is not, you should stop. If it is, you should continue. So yeah, the major challenge for me is just being consistent.
Okay.
And
NEPA, yeah, I think we all struggle with the NEPA factor. Let's talk about collaboration a little bit now. Do you collaborate with other YouTubers, other content creators, and do you feel that kind of adds value to what you do?
So I have collaborated in the past, but I haven't had time to collaborate the way I would want to collaborate. But I do have plans to collaborate, a lot, but I just need it to be right.
Okay.
So, but it does work. I know people that have collaborated. I think people get tired of hearing from the same person over and over again. So it's nice to have unique perspectives, different perspectives over I've done it on a small scale, but I want to do it on a larger scale, and I know it works for a fact. Yes.
Okay. So you're a perfectionist, so I'm sure whoever you collaborate with has to be of a certain.
I think that's also a problem. Like trying to be a perfectionist, it's not good, but I am.
No, I think it's good because it shows there's a quality and there's an excellence that shines through when you are a perfectionist. So that's an example of that. I love it. So let's talk about the money side of being a content creator now, because I know a lot of people want to get into it as a job. They're passionate about it. They also want to earn from it. So how do you, Fisayo, go about getting like brand deals and sponsorships? Can you give us sort of some ways that somebody who's watching right now who's a new content creator and they want to start maybe reaching out to brands? Do you reach out to brands? Do brands reach out to you? How does it work?
So nowadays the brands reach out to me.
Yeah.
Fortunately, yeah. But I think when someone is starting out, they should, if they have a day job, they should not quit their day job for YouTube or for like content creation, because the last thing you want to be is a broke creative. You don't want to not have money and be creative. It just doesn't work so well. So you want to have something that you are making money from while exploring this other thing that you are passionate about. You can start small, you can start creating. But if you want to eventually work with brands, you want to start making the kind of content that brands would want to pay for. So you want to start doing that without even getting paid for it. You can even have demo promotions or demo videos that appeal to certain brands. So you can even review some brands. So the way I started, I actually started I reviewed some gadgets and Techno. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention, but Techno was one of the first people to reach out to me. So someone from Techno sent me a DM,
okay,
and he was like, "Hi, he didn't know I was in Nigeria. Even he just sent me a message, and I didn't know you make videos like this." He sent me a phone, and thank God he wasn't worried I was going to run away with the phone. Then I used the phone for a while. He sent me another phone, and I was like, "Wow, these people think I'm a human being that's not going to run away." And then someone from Samsung as well sent me a phone, and on like that. So we just started working with multiple companies and just working with them and making videos, helping them with launches of smartphones and things like that. So if you are going to look at it as a career, I think you want to take it seriously as a career, but you want to find a way to make sure that you're making money at the same time. Eventually, when it becomes a thing, you should be able to make money. But the way it is, it's funny. You don't want to put money as the main priority.
Okay.
However, money must be made.
Yeah.
So you want to focus on the value, like how best are you delivering this value to people and to the clients.
So Fisayo, what would you say are sort of the positives about doing what you do, being a digital creator? What are the bits of it that you enjoy the most?
The fact that I can deliver value to a large audience is priceless, because first of all, it's a responsibility that I have to make the videos correct. And the next thing is that there's a lot of attention that can come from it. It's also that nowadays, because of the way the world is, people pay for attention. So it is going to command some sort of monetary value. So that is a good thing. Yeah, I think money is good. So yeah, that's just what I was trying to say, that I used all those words. And I think another thing is the accolades. I don't necessarily put it in a very high regard, but they are accolades. And the way I look at it is, I've been a judge for some awards, and I know what judges would go through, to look at a bunch of nominees and then mark them. I've won several, and I think it makes me feel sort of validated that there are people that they put in high regard that also put you in high regard, and they put a stamp of approval on your work and make noise about you. So I think those are good things. And also the events, I don't really like events, but
the events look so fun.
Yes, I don't really go. But yeah, I've gone to a couple, and it's a very great avenue for networking. You meet so many amazing people, and also so many amazing people that know you too. There's so many people that I look up to that are fans of my work, which is also a very good thing.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's talk about imposter syndrome, because I feel like when you are a creative person, that tends to creep in sometimes. So have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome, and if so, how have you been able to overcome it?
I think I always do deal with imposter syndrome, and it was worse before. I'm grateful because I have my uncle is someone who reads a lot. My father is a lecturer who reads obviously a lot, so they kind of helped me love books, and I've read so much about people building a career. One of the very good books I recommend, Mastery by Robert Greene. He just talks about your journey from being a blank slate to being a master, and how you should just try to make the work the center of attention, not yourself. So I think people know me because of the work I put out. Nobody really knows who I am, really, like what I am like, except the people that are very close to me.
Right.
So I think it is good to make the work the forefront and build that work as much as possible and make it the center of everything. Give your strength and your the strength of your staff to making the work better. So in a way, I deal with imposter syndrome personally because I feel like this thing, do I really deserve this thing? Like somebody can pay you maybe millions of naira for something that you would wonder why. Like you would just do it normally you would do it normally for free anyway, but people are going to pay you millions for it.
But I think it's your unique perspective, if you don't mind me saying, because I think everybody brings their own self to it, and what you bring to it, somebody else can't bring to it. I think sometimes we don't value ourselves or our skills because we are us. We can't see ourselves from the outside looking in,
Exactly, I totally agree with you. So yeah, I think that's just how it seems like. But I've read enough to know that I should put the work at the forefront and not necessarily myself.
Yeah, amazing. And I love that book recommendation you gave us, Mastery by Robert Greene. I'm going to check it out. Because he also wrote 48 Laws of Power. Is that not him? You don't really know. Okay. Fair enough.
I recommend.
Fair enough.
Unless you want to be a politician.
Okay, fair enough. So let's round up now by talking about the tools that you use to create content. The camera, the editing software, all those things. Can you just give us a few of the items that you use?
Okay, so I would talk about my tools, but I also like to look at it from buckets. Some people are starting out, but they don't necessarily have like money to buy cameras. So if you have a good phone, you can use your phone. You just want to make sure that you have good audio and good lighting. Those two are very, very important. If you can figure out lighting and you can get good audio, I think you can use your phone. People can actually stand bad videos. The video might be pixelated, might not necessarily be sharp, but they would stand it if the audio is good. If the audio is good and they will understand what you're saying. Again, in the end, it's the story you're telling. In this video, you are entertaining people or you're educating people. That is what matters. The medium, the tool is good if it is sharper or brighter, but as far as the message is passed across well, I think that's what matters. So the intermediate stage is you getting your first camera now. You want to get a DSLR camera. You want to get one that would record into a card that is of high quality, preferably 1080p quality, and that's 1080 by 1920, the pixels. And you want to make sure that that's the standard for every social media platform for HD. And if your DSLR can shoot that, I think that's good. Then again, pair it with comparable audio. So you want to now consider getting microphones. One microphone I use is Rhodes. I can't remember the name, but it's Rode Video. I don't remember the name. It's a wireless mic. I'll probably post it somewhere. But it's a Rode mic, and if you want to go higher now, you want to probably consider 4K cameras. So 4K cameras. I use the one I use is a Sony A7S III. And I have another comparable Sony camera as well, and then I have like some microphones that they're directional microphones. There are recorders, so people can record audio directly to their computer, or they can record it to a recorder. So there's the recorder. I use Zoom H8, or I use like a Focusrite that records directly to the computer. So you have like consider XLR cables. Anyway, there are so many technical
Quite
stuff,
technical, yeah.
but you just know that the story is the most important thing, and good audio. Like seriously, you can have bad video, but if your audio is not good, like just it's sensory. Like yeah, if you are saying something, you can pick out the details. Okay, but if it's audio, if it is inaudible, you can misconstrue it.
Sure.
But if the story is good, that's what matters.
Really interesting. Well, Fisayo, thank you so much for coming on the career series powered by MTN and just being so candid and open and graciously sharing a lot of the secrets to content creation that you may not necessarily just find out just by Googling. These are things that you gleaned from years of experience. So we appreciate having you on.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you.
And just congratulations.
Thank you very much.